Yo, what's going on, guys? R.I.Pierre here. We're using that max power return on YouTube, and we have reached, finally, at long last, week 1 of the GPC, the Grand Pokemon Conference, the newest, I guess you could say, Pokemon League out there. We're based completely on Pokemon Showdown. My first week opponent is Miss Sysbit, aka Claire, aka Jake, and we had about a couple days ago. And basically, I'm going to go ahead and analyze the two teams before we go into this. I was actually going to originally go straight into the recording of the replay and do that and then explain everything. But I decided I should do this first. I thought that this would be a better idea for me, just at least for the first week. So, my squad consists of Mega Altaria, Doublade, Tornadus T, Tyranitar, Swampert, Fortress, Meloetta, Spiritomb, Emboar, Lilligant, Virizion, and Stoutland. Now I'll have my starting 6, of course, a little bit later on in the video, but I just want to make sure that you grasp my entire squad first. Sysbit has Toxicroak, Zoroark, Talonflame, Gothitelle, Electros, Lantern, Tyrantrum, Braviary, Celebi, Aromatisse, Tentacruel, and Golurk. Now, if you notice, Sysbit does not have a Mega Evolution. He may pick one up later, but right now he's content with using normal mons. That's pretty cool. Now, looking at his team, he really, other than Talonflame, there's nothing that really wants to take a +1 Dragon Dance boosted Earthquake or Return from Mega Altaria, and really that's a big issue for him, and it's a big thing for me to exploit. Mega Altaria plus Doublade actually do a ton of damage to his team, and pretty much together have the capability to sweep, as well as Meloetta being very, very threatening. So off the bat, I knew I was bringing Mega Altaria, Doublade, and Meloetta. Now, for the rest of my starting 6, I decided on Spiritomb, as well as Tyranitar, and Fortress. Fortress was basically if you decided to run Tentacruel to bring to get Toxic Spikes off of the field, get Toxic Spikes onto the field, excuse me, as he doesn't have a Stealth Rocker. I think Tyrantrum learns it, but I don't think anyone would run or anyone I know runs Stealth Rock Tyrantrum. But this is a different format, so anything's possible. So I just brought Fortress just to keep hazards off my side of the field, really, and I actually didn't use him to set up in this match. At least I just didn't feel like it would do much good for me, as I actually carried spikes on it. You'll see as I do the team preview later on with my actual sets and things like that. So as I said before, I bought Mega Altaria, Doublade, Tyranitar, Fortress, Meloetta, and Spiritomb. Now, the one Pokemon I was very much fearing with this team was his Zoroark. I actually had 3 different teams that I tested. This was the second one I tested, and it turned out to be the best one. I really didn't feel the need for Tornadus T, at least not this week, especially when it has Lantern and Talonflame, which would be very, very annoying to deal with my Tornadus T, as I would pretty much be forced to switch out into something else. And Tyrantrum basically sets up as long as, well, Jolly Tyrantrum gets to +1 and kills everything. And especially if Tornadus T misses the Focus Blast, that's just it screws me over. And really, Tornadus T wouldn't have been like the greatest mon for me to bring this week, so I was like, fine, you know what, I don't need it. Swampert, really, Tyranitar was just a better option there, especially since he's got Electros and Celebi. Electros, of course, having Giga Drain in his move pool, and Celebi being a grass type. It really just would not have worked in my favor to bring Swampert this week. Lilligant and Virizion, I really don't need more things for Talonflame to run through. Stoutland I was originally going to, but it just seemed to me that it would be better for me to use something else. So I decided on those 6. Now, the Pokemon he decided to bring, which kind of surprised me a little bit. He bought Talonflame, Electros, Lantern, Braviary, and Tentacruel and Celebi. There you go. I was trying to remember because I'm not actually looking at the replay right now. Not yet anyways. So those were his 6. I was very much fearing Zoroark, so once I saw that it wasn't there, I breathed a little bit of a sigh of relief, because my Choice Specs Meloetta would be able to basically do a lot of work to his team, especially when Celebi is down. I could literally just Psychic everything or Hyper Voice. I can already Hyper Voice everything, but once Celebi is gone, I can go ahead and fire off Psychics and whatnot. And I also have Shadow Ball, which hits everything on his team as well at this point, except for Braviary, of course, so that would have been a little bit problematic. But for the most part, Meloetta was a very, very solid option for me against this team, as long as he didn't bring Zoroark. Zoroark was really threatening, if you have been following so far. So when I was practicing against my friend Namda, I had him bring like different variants of what Jake might have bought, but he actually did not use the set I was thinking. The set that Nam was thinking anyway. Namda decided to throw specs on it, and actually did a good amount of damage to the team. I ended up beating him anyway, but it was eye-opening. However, he decided to bring, I think it was Physically Defensive Lantern. Just looking at the amount of damage my Spiritomb did to it. You haven't seen it yet, but you will. You'll understand what I mean when I get there. And I think that's really all I have to say. Mega Altria runs through his team, especially, well, after +1, really just goes through his team after Talonflame goes down. And basically, that's all I really wanted to say. I didn't go through why I bought Tyranitar. Tyranitar was basically there for Stealth Rock, as well as something I could switch into Talonflame without completely regretting the decision. So that's really it. And we will actually go ahead and go into my team preview in just a second. Let me pause. Alright, so week 1 option, option 2. So I opted with this option. So I decided to go with Cloudy J, my Mega Altria. That's probably gonna be the name I keep for it. Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Return Roost, very standard. I ran this specifically because nothing on his team could outspeed me at this except for a Talonflame, but really had a pretty slow team, so at +1, just with this much investment, I could outspeed the rest of his team. And I also had enough bulk where if he decided he decided to be cute and bring like Life Orb, Sludge Bomb, Tentacruel, I would actually be able to live I would have like a little bit of HP left, but I would have been pretty much fine. Now we have Tyranitar. These names aren't permanent. One day they will be. I really wanted to nickname it. Pretty standard Stealth Rock 3-attack Tyranitar with Earthquake, Crunch, Edgequake and Crunch with Stealth Rock. Weird EV spread. Don't ask. Standard choice specs Meloetta. Oh, 1 second. Sorry about that. I had to answer the phone with something from my dad. It was pretty important. So, as I was saying, Christina, my Meloetta, choice specs, Spring Grace, of course, Psychic, Hyper Voice, Focus Blast, and Shadow Ball. Standard set with Timid, Max Speed, Max Special Attack. Nothing special there. Now, this is where a little bit of innovation starts. Fortress, I actually bought Heavy Slam and Spikes because I have Stealth Rock on my Tyranitar. I really didn't think I needed another Stealth Rocker, so I have Spikes on this. Well, I actually bought Heavy Slam because it does more damage to a Aromatisse than would a Gyro Ball. This actually is a 2-hit KO, whereas Gyro Ball is a 3 or 4 hit. I think it's 4 hit after Leftovers Recovery. Don't quote me on that though, so I'm not entirely sure, but that's what I think. And I have 136 defense with 116 special defense. Pretty balanced, I guess, with a relaxed nature. So it allows me to live special hits a little bit better. It's about base 80 special defense with no investment. So that's really it. So yeah, I brought Volt Switch, Heavy Slam. Volt Switch actually turned out to be very, very important for me in this matchup, and you'll see soon. And we have the Keystone, Spiritomb, Black Glasses, Infiltrator, Shadow Ball, Dark Pulse, Memento, and Will-O-Wisp. I use Black Glasses just because I wanted Dark Pulse to hit a little bit harder, but I probably should use a different item in the future. It's just, I kind of put this Spiritomb here last second, just for specifically for his Tentacruel, as it wouldn't be able to do too much to me, and I could prevent Rapid Spins if necessary, and fire back decent hits, as well as getting Memento off if that's necessary. So, actually, max HP, I needed something with a little bit more special defense, so I actually opted to go with a special defensive nature with 84 EVs and 92 defense EVs with 80 special attack EVs. I really like my numbers to end in 0 or 5. That's really my main reason for it. But 275 defense, 300 special defense, and 240 special attack, it really just helped me out a bit. Now, a little bit more innovation here. I have a standard Deblade EV wise, but I actually bought Rock Slide over Sacred Sword. There we go. I had Rock Slide over Sacred Sword because Sacred Sword really wouldn't hurt anything on his team other than his Tyrantrum and his Zoroark, both of which he didn't end up bringing, and Rock Slide is just so much better because the Blade is one of 2 things on this team that can actually take, oh my gosh, keep the current color scheme and don't show as much. Alright, I apologize. Twin Slice, the Blade again, as you already saw, excuse me, and basically Rock Slide OHKOs Talonflame. And because the Blade is one of 2 things on this team that can actually take both a Brave Bird if I decide to switch in on that, but if he didn't see it coming, especially since Tyranitar is still around, I don't think he would just randomly fire off a Brave Bird. But if I could get a free switch in on it, he really would feel pretty safe going for like 2 Flare Blitzes. I could just hit him up with a Rock Slide really easily, and I do have the no guard here, and so basically I won't miss. Basically guarantees that I take out that Talonflame, and that's basically all she wrote. So I think that's enough for the little team preview here. I'm actually going to end this recording and start the replay in a different one. So I will see you guys when I get there, and I will be right back, I guess. Alright, now here comes the fun part. We're going to go ahead and record this replay. Now, Sysbit opted to bring Celebi. Wow, I'm completely forgetting names now. Celebi, Lantern, Talonflame, Electros, Tentacruel, and Braviary. Now, his reasoning for bringing both His reasonings for bringing both Braviary and Talonflame was because he was really fearing that I would bring Emboar, which in a last minute decision I decided not to, only because I felt I already outspeed most of his team naturally with a +1 Altaria as well as my Meloetta. So I was like, you know what, there really is no point to me bringing it. It would do a great amount of damage to other things, but really Talonflame would just come in and take care of it, and I just thought that the team would fare better without it. At this point anyway, so it was like, you know what, whatever. So Talonflame is very threatening, but I do have both my Tyranitar and my Doublade which are set up to deal with it. Celebi I was a little bit interested in. Of course I have the Blade and Spiritomb that can also deal with it as well, and Altaria +1 2-hit KOs it from anywhere. Meloetta's Hyper Voice is going to be doing quite a bit of damage to it, as well as Shadow Ball if I'm able to get rid of Braviary pretty quickly. And Tentacruel really just does not take anything well from my team other than anything it resists, really. It would take a good amount of damage from Meloetta. Earthquake, of course, from Altaria at +1 would KO it, and it doesn't want to take +2 Shadow Sneaks or well, I have Rock Slide on my Doublade, but you get the point with that. Fortress there just to keep Toxic Spikes off my side of the field, just in case he wants to go ahead and go for that. And yeah, I think I analyzed my team. His Talonflame set was actually very nice, so you'll see as we get through the battle. So without further ado, let's go straight into it. Now he's going to lead off with Electros here as I lead with T-Tar. Now I'm expecting a Drain Punch here, so I go into my Spiritomb, the Keystone, as he goes for Superpower. I'm immune to it, of course. So here I was wondering whether or not he was choice or not, because there was I'm pretty sure Leftover Recovery comes, oh well, yeah, comes first anyway. So he actually reveals he's not, so he goes for the U-turn. I'm actually wondering what item he is now. He might actually be Expert Belt, considering. So he's gonna U-turn out of my Spiritomb there, doing 20%, and go into his Lantern, as I'm going to actually fire off a Dark Pulse. Black Glasses boosts Dark Pulse. It's gonna do a decent amount of damage to Lantern. So for the next couple of turns, we're just gonna basically be trading Scald for Dark Pulse back and forth as that happens. So I'm actually gonna click fast for speed speed through this part of the replay here. So it's basically us trading back and forth as he burns me, and I actually made a misplay here. I went for Will-O-Wisp instead of going for another Dark Pulse. That was a misclick on my part, but you know, it happens. And I missed it anyway, so it was like, wow, okay. So I am going to get taken down by that Scald. So I'm going to go into Altaria here and take the opportunity to Mega Evolve. And I'm going to go for Return instead of Earthquake, because if he goes into if he were to go into his Electros there, I wouldn't be doing any damage that turn, and I would actually hinder me a little bit. So he's going to bring in his Tentacruel. I'm basically fearing some type of weird max special attack set just specifically for my Altria. So I'm actually going to switch into my Fortress here and take the Sludge Wave, basically, immune to it. And he's going to switch out into Talonflame this turn. I'm going to go ahead and Volt Switch out. I really don't want to be taking any more damage. And it's going to do a decent amount for me. So I'm going to go out into the Blade here. Now, here's where things get interesting. I see that by the Leftovers recovery that he's going to be a bulky Adamant T-Flame. But what I did not see what happens next coming. So I'm assuming he's going to Will-O-Wisp, and he does, and so I'm just going to go ahead and Swords Dance up. He doesn't know I have Rock Slide, but I don't know that he has Fire Blast, as you just saw. Like, I was so taken off guard. So Rock Slide is going to take out the Talonflame, but I'm also going to go down to my Burn plus the Fire Blast damage. That was actually a very, very smart, considering we were basically both prepared for the other. So I'm going to bring in T-Tar here. He's going to go for Grass, not doing a ton of damage, but I really just wanted Rocks on the field. And I'm pretty sure I can pressure his Tentacruel enough to the point where I won't need to to get them off field again. So he's going to go ahead and Stealth Rock here as I bring out my Fortress. So I'm just going to spin them away. I don't want to be taking residual damage from anything. And he's going to go into his Braviary here. I was actually a little scared of it for a bit because I thought it was Scarfed, but it turned out to be Leftovers. So I'm actually going to Volt Switch out of it here. I mean, well, not Leftovers. Hold on. I don't even remember what item it was. But he does come out. Yeah, it takes damage from the okay. I forgot what item he was, but he wasn't Choice Scarf. That's all that mattered. So I'm gonna go to Christina here. Hyper Voice. I calced it. Would have KO'd it. No matter what. So the Sandstorm's gonna subside at the same time, which is absolutely beautiful. I'm not trusting Meloetta to hit another Hyper Voice, although considering it did that much, it was supposed to actually do more to Braviary considering the amount of HP it was at. I would have actually been fine going for another Hyper Voice. I would have taken it out, and Meloetta would have easily lived that U-turn, even if it is an Expert Belt Electros. I would have been fine. I don't even know why I did that, to be honest. Well, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna sacrifice my Tyranitar here. I clicked Stealth Rock just in case he decides to go for Rapid Spin. And he's actually just going to go for Giga Drain and take me out. So that's actually perfect for me because now that since I'm at max HP, I actually calced how much a max special attack Sludge Wave would do because I know that he isn't Life Orb. Max attack Sludge Wave would not KO my Altria. It would actually leave me with if he gets a max roll, it would have left me with about 7-8%. Possibly a little more because I don't think I took into account the HP EVs I have on my Cloudy J. But nonetheless, I do force him out basically because, and I'm just going to go ahead and Dragon Dance here, and that's basically where the game's going to end. The Sandstorm is going to put him in range of return. I do believe that physically defensive would have been a roll to take him out. I don't know if the crit mattered or not. I mean, I really don't know his spread, so I can't say anything. So he's going to go to Tentacruel here. I thought he was going to try to pull some shenanigans here and just go for like switch back into Electros to avoid the Earthquake and then basically make me use return. I don't know. But basically right here the battle was over. Mega Altria is just going to sweep the rest of his team. That crit definitely didn't matter. I'm not sure if the one on the Celebi did, but that is going to be the battle, and I'm going to take week 1 against Miss Sysbit, aka Jake, in the first wow, I completely screwed up what I was gonna say. Let me redo that. I'm gonna take the first battle of mine, the week 1 battle of the GPC against Miss Sysbit, and yeah, MVP was Mega Altria. Meloetta and Blade played their roles absolutely perfectly, and it was a good one. It was just a very good first battle, and it was good for me to grasp the format. I've never really been I follow the other ones. I really, not too much though, only like specific people, like 2 people. But this was definitely fun for me. And do I have any more thoughts? My thoughts on week 1, really, this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed team building for it, and I enjoyed the battle. So, good battle. We talked about it afterwards. If he had gone for Fire Blast twice on my Deblade, that would actually been very, very troubling because I was predicting his Will-O-Wisp. And he did go for the Will-O-Wisp, so you know what? Mistakes were made. But I think that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button to share your support for the channel and for the GPC, and don't forget to check out all the other wonderful people in the GPC. I'll have a link to, I think the spreadsheet is actually, can be, I can distribute the spreadsheet now, so you can go check out everybody. All the YouTube links and all of the Twitter links are on the spreadsheet, and it saves a lot of time from having to put them in the description every single time. So until we meet again, alright, peace out, and I will catch you all next time in the GPC and any video, basically, ever. I'll catch you all later. Bye.